What's going on, my good people? Appreciate y'all for popping in with us on this late night stream. What's going on? Got my folks in from YouTube, Twitch, Discord. Let me introduce my man, Jalen Duke, man. Jalen Duke. Some of you may have seen him before on some of the other things that we have done. But tonight's going to be a different format. We're actually going to be doing some recording right now for some sports related stuff. So no reactions tonight, no reaction videos at this point in time. But we encourage y'all to hop in and chat with us. Some of the topics we're going to dive into. Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Jalen Duke.
My fault. I should have just gave you. My bad, bro. That was a bad introduction.
Good.
Go on and tell the folks who you are.
What's up, y'all, man? J Duke. Follow me at Jalen Duke on all platforms. At JALEN DUKE. Instagram, Twitter, whatever. But yeah, just a little sports talk tonight, man. Addy, thank you for letting me hop on the other channel tonight, man.
Man, no problem. Planet Lex, what's going on? I know somebody said Mike was cutting out a little bit, just making sure that y'all can still hear us.
Check.
Making sure that y'all can still hear us. Y'all said Mike is messing up. 1 second, y'all. If I have to, let me try to cut some things. Discord, I'm going to cut it and come back out and see if that fixes some things. Give us 1 second. Want to make sure that y'all can actually hear it.
I saw it. I didn't know if that was meant to do it like that.
What, the stutter?
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, let me check that, y'all. Appreciate y'all for letting us know. I'm going to get some settings straight, and then we'll go back in. Might have some things a little high. Let's take this down. 1 second.
Max said, you've been spoiling us for Game of Thrones, and now this?
Yeah. Man, Game of Thrones. Actually did some recording for some Game of Thrones stuff today, actually. Let me know if it is getting a little better. We're going to check it. I think we're good to go now. Just check that. Also, y'all can join us at Twitch too, in case y'all wanted a different experience. But try refreshing and coming back. But without further ado, let's go on and hop into it. Jake Duke, go ahead and kick us off, my brother. Let's talk.
All right, man. WNBA. I actually was watching it before I left the house tonight. You've been watching it all. Do you ever watch any of the WNBA, as a matter of fact? Like any years, even like before this year? Have you ever watched?
I don't want to be a hypocrite, but nah.
I mean, if you have, you have.
I don't. I have not.
Yeah.
I have not.
Well, this year has been okay. They said the mic is
okay. 1 second, y'all. All right, let me check this out. 1 moment, y'all. We'll be right back. All right. Go ahead.
All right. No, so back to what I was but yeah, it's just been more attention than ever on this WNBA season. And a lot of it is because of Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
But it's just been a lot of talk because of course Caitlin Clark, she broke, she's an all-time lead scorer in NCAA history.
Yeah.
Broke plenty of records in college, just countless amount of records, right? #1 pick. She's a star, right? And she's brought a lot of attention to the league. But it's just been, now they've got like private flights. And, you know what I mean? They're just kind of upgrading a little bit. And a lot of people are saying like it's due to Caitlin. And then there are some women in the league that are like, Caitlin's a great player, but all this ain't.
Yeah.
She's not just the only one responsible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're selling out games too. Angel Reese, some of these other girls, So, Caitlin is definitely at the forefront of the class of new rookies that have brought the attention to the league. Because she's a star. All of her games, people are buying tickets. Just like in college, her games were selling out.
Yeah.
Her jersey sold out on draft night. The season tickets probably sold out. All her games on national TV. You know what I mean? So, Yeah, I mean, as a player, somebody said their team is straight doo-doo. They are. That's why they had the number one pick. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, she's definitely at the forefront. Back to what I was saying. She's definitely at the forefront of the WNBA being so highly anticipated and highly viewed this season.
Yeah.
Now, I do agree that there are other girls, ladies that people are watching. Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, Cameron Brink. You know any of these names? I don't know.
Angel Reese.
That's it.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I want to be as respectful as possible because I know these are professional athletes.
No, for sure.
And I know they do a really good job. But if you're just asking me, like, respectfully, no, I have not.
Yeah.
And respectfully, since Caitlin Clark has been in it, it makes me want to, though.
Yeah.
It makes me want to tap into it. But yeah.
But to your point, since Caitlin Clark is in it, you said since Caitlin Clark is in it, you want to tap in.
Yeah.
That's why she's been getting the attention she has. Because it's always to sell tickets and in sports, right? Mm-hmm. You have to be a showman. It's a difference between, and I think we've talked about this on some pod episodes.
Yeah.
It's a difference in being good at something and then being a show.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Something people, you sell tickets being a show. She's a show. Like the way she plays is a show. She plays to the crowd. She shoots from half court. It's a show.
It's exactly right. I agree.
Like you saying you don't watch the WNBA, but she makes me want to watch. That's why. You know. So, and it's also been talked, other than people, saying she's solely responsible for all the, viewership and tickets, and revenue coming in. People are saying that, man, they're going at her too hard because they're going to get her hurt.
Yeah.
She's got all this, she's brought all this stuff to the league and then they're going to get her hurt. I don't agree with that because, they're competitors at the end of the day, right? Like,
so you're saying you don't agree that people are intentionally trying to hurt her?
I think
you think she's just getting normal rookie treatment from her competitors. That is not from the media. From we know what type of attention she's getting from media. You think from her competitors and other teams, she's getting normal rookie treatment?
For the most part,
because it's gonna play into when we dissect the incident that she had.
You talking about the Kennedy Carter?
Yeah,
that was different. That wasn't normal.
We can get into that, but
that wasn't that instance wasn't normal. Mm-hmm. But as far as people just playing like super hard defense on her and stuff, that's normal.
Yeah,
that's normal. I mean, you got to think, bro. Human nature. I mean, they're competitors, right? You got this girl that was in college breaking all these records, scoring all these points, and then you come to the big leagues with pros that have been playing for years. They're not just going to let her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not just going to let her come in and do what she did in college. Or for one, it's not going to be that easy. It's going to be a transition period. It's going to be some growing pains, but they're not just going, you know what I mean? If you've been the best players in the world at the highest level for years, you're not going to let this girl from college come in and just do what she did in college. You're not.
On a much smaller scale, it actually reminds me of when Lonzo Ball first got into the league, and more so not because he was deemed the greatest rookie of all time, but because of how his dad was talking like, oh, he'll beat Steph Curry and this, that, and the third. Do you remember how Patrick Beverly played him the first time he played him? And he fouled him a couple times pretty hard. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of that, but I know these are on much different spectrums because she actually, no disrespect to Lonzo, I love Lonzo and stuff, his game and all of that. When you think of her, you think like, nah, she could be the face of the league for sure. Yeah. And she ain't even played a full season yet.
Well, it just puts a target on your back. You know what I mean? Like when people gas you and things like that. Like I've heard people say, I have nothing against Caitlin, but it's her fans.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Somebody said how many teams are there in the WNBA? It's 12. And they're actually expanding. They announced.
So you really were you tapped into the WNBA before Caitlin?
Yeah.
Okay, this is an interesting perspective. You might be one of my only guy friends who I've known that to be true about.
Yeah, no, I definitely have. I love the game, period. You know what I mean? So I've just always watched. I mean, a lot of people have different opinions about women's basketball, and because they're not, as athletic, dunking, and you know what I mean. So it's you really have to watch for skill and things like that. But no, I've always watched. That's why this has been exciting. Just. Seeing how the league is starting to grow and, it's upcoming ladies coming, Juju Watkins, and you know what I mean? It's just, it's younger, for years to come, women's basketball is going to be in a good place. So
You think so?
I think, so, yeah.
I think they're making the effort for it to be. I am a little concerned about if it will be for this one reason that we're about to talk about with the Kennedy Carter. When you bite the hand that feeds you, it's problematic. I'm gonna speak on that. I'm gonna be a little bit more clear.
Yeah.
I think the narrative that a lot of women in the league are not liking is that Caitlin Clark is the WNBA. That's why we want to see the WNBA, because they've been making statements like, we're here too. Like, we play, we put the groundwork down for her to be here. So like, respect us too. However, the way it's perceived is that y'all are attacking her because of the narrative that is out about that. Does that make sense?
So you're saying it's the narrative that people are making in the media. It's not Caitlin. So you're saying people are attacking Caitlin?
And appreciate you for the super chat, LS Photography. Appreciate you for the love. And I know you said go Celtics, which we're going to talk about that tonight too. Appreciate you so much for that love. But yeah, I feel like you have a young star that's coming in and it's good for y'all. But instead of embracing that, it's like, bump her. It's us too.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. Like, they're competitors, you know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying, biting the hand that feeds you. And I don't know if overall.
Now, what do you mean by biting the hand that feeds you? That's
like
kinda,
if you kill one of your own, if you minimize the reason that we came here for, there may no longer be a reason to come here. Like, so for instance, if y'all hurt her in the game and she can't play for like half the season, whatever the case may be, then all the people y'all are mad about, like, why weren't y'all here, won't be there because she's not there.
I mean,
so we won't be able to see how good some of the rest of y'all are if y'all injure her in the effort to prove that she ain't nothing.
Well, first I want to say, injuring it shouldn't be. Nobody should be aiming to injure anybody.
I don't think that's anybody's aim, but when you do things outside of the game, and within the game too, that's always an issue.
I mean, we could talk about the Kennedy Carter situation. That's an outlier, but
she's a dog too. Like she said, Kennedy is a dog. But with all respect, she can hoop.
What do you suggest, that they take it easy on her?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they take it easy. I think the rules are in place for a reason. If it's a foul, it's a foul. You have 5 or 6 to give in a game. So, I mean, yeah, use them strategically, use them wisely. I don't think you should ever use any of them to hurt anybody, but use them within the confines of the game for sure. And if you do anything outside of that, there's rules in place to penalize players for that. All I'm saying is it does feel like, you know how people got the us versus everybody? It does feel like Caitlin Clark versus everybody type of deal when it comes to understanding how important and impactful she is to the league.
I don't think anybody's denying it. It's just like you said, like if you got players that have been the best players in the world and laid the groundwork and been a pro for years. I mean, and you have this freshman, rookie come into the league. It's like, and people just acting like she made the WNBA. It's just a narrative. They're not gonna let that fly. You know what I mean? Imagine if you've been playing in the league for 10 years, and you got this rookie come in that's exciting, and everybody's like, oh, y'all owe everything to her. They're not going to let that fly. You know what I'm saying?
They don't have to let that fly, but business is business. And didn't they say one of their games was selling out more than like a Lakers game or something crazy like that? Or had more people in attendance than one of the Lakers games or something wild like that? So, like, what I mean by that is, so do you feel like they're being disrespected in an effort to uplift Caitlin?
You said what?
Do you feel like the way media is talking about her, promoting her, marketing her is disrespectful to the other players that have already been there?
A little bit, depending on who it is. I mean, I think they definitely need to promote Caitlin, and she's definitely earned everything. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Have anything bad to say about Caitlin as a player or anything, you know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, bro. I mean, you got, like, somebody said Asia Wilson. Somebody said something about Asia Wilson.
She good.
Like, she should have already had a signature shoe. Now, I know they're working on it for next year, but it's like, now the news broke soon as Caitlin was drafted.
Yep.
That in her Nike contract, she's getting a signature shoe. And then people were like, whoa, what about Asia Wilson? What about so? And then after that, it came out that, oh, Asia's going to have a shoe next year. So was it because Caitlin was getting a shoe that they kind of lit a fire under Nike? Like, hey, you know what I mean? I don't know. Well, it could have already been in the works. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like.
And as you're talking, I'm going to put up another poll, too, that I want y'all to consider. Is Caitlin Clark treatment unfair to the rest of the women in the league? Is the way she's being marketed, talked about, addressed, is that unfair to other women? But yeah, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
I mean, as far as Kate, she's earned all the marketing, all the attention she gets, she's earned it. So I'm not saying like, you know what I mean? It's bad, but I just know that there are other competitors in the league, and they're not just gonna. She's got a target on her back, regardless. You know what I mean? And she's not even outspoken. You mentioned LeVar Ball. I mean, he put a target on Lonzo's back. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like when that's just human nature, bro. As a competitor,
yeah,
it's
I've so into that though, like you mentioned that LeVar put a target on Lonzo's back. I don't necessarily believe Caitlin put a target on her back outside of being extremely good in basketball, but I have heard she can talk a little bit.
I'm sure she can.
I've heard she can talk a little bit. So we'll never know some of the things that have been or have not been said.
Yeah.
But I've heard she can talk a little bit, although some people are strategic with it. That you look and it's like, what? I ain't seen nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's an art. It's an art to it. It's a craft to it.
She's a competitor too. I'm sure she is out there talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? But
So and this is how I think about it. Without knowing much about the WNBA women's basketball, some names that I associate with it are gonna be like Diana Taurasi, Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying? Skylar Diggins.
Candace Owens.
See, you see what I'm saying? I wouldn't have said Kobe Trump.
Yeah. So
Candace Parker. My fault.
Lisa retired. Retired.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about the game. I'm talking about the sport in itself. I know. Candace Parker, Brittany Griner, but actually more so recently Brittany Griner because of other stuff outside of the basketball. You know, because she had the little situation. So that's what I think of in regards to that. But do you feel like out of the names I have listed, I have not listed the cream of the crop?
You said what?
Do you feel like out of the names that I just gave you, that I have not listed some of the cream of the crop when it comes to?
You didn't say Asia Wilson?
That's why I was just being authentic.
Yeah,
I was just being authentic to what I've been exposed to.
You name all-time greats. Everybody you name was some of the greatest.
Does it, when I said what I said, does it come off like somebody who's like, yeah, I love basketball. You're like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird. Did I sound like one of those guys from that standpoint?
No, because you name some. I mean, you name like more general, like all-time players. I mean, the only one that's not playing anymore that you named is Candace Parker, and she just retired.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Somebody said marketed in which way, like a poster child or endorsement? Both. I mean, as far as Caitlin,
yeah.
I mean, they're marketing her as both, and that's why. I mean,
So, what do you think? And talking about this, because I know we got a few other things to discuss. And talking about this Caitlin Clark situation, you think she's overhyped? You think she is going to be, when it's all said and done, one of the greatest players to come out? Also, I know we hadn't talked about Angel Reese. I know you like her, her game and things that she got going on. Do you think that when it's all said and done, y'all will be like, yeah, I know y'all were saying, hey, give some respect on that, but she did turn out to be everything and more than what we thought she was going to be?
That's hard to say. I think individually, I mean, she definitely could be an all-time great. I don't think she's overhyped. She's earned all of the hype.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're the all-time lead scorer in NCAA history. I mean, and you're just breaking all these records and stuff. I think it's definitely deserved.
Okay.
You know what I mean? All the hype. It's not like she's just, some player coming into the league that was okay, but they're boosting and stuff. I mean, she's earned all of it. I mean, how her career plays out, we'll see. I mean, she just had 30 tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, against the worst team in the league, but she started off the season playing like the strongest schedule. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think they played like 11 games in the first 20 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The season or something. So it's like, and you got to think too, WNBA doesn't get out. Well, the ladies coming into the league from college, they don't get an off season.
Yeah.
As
I've even heard documentaries that say they actually work second in other jobs too when the season's out.
No, I'm talking about the ladies come from college.
Oh, okay. I got you.
They have to like declare for the draft. Like,
yeah, that was a quick turnaround from the draft to their first. Like,
you win a national championship, it's like the next day you have to be like,
it was something
hey
crazy
guys,
like that.
I'm going to the league. Unless you want to just go ahead and knock it out before and be like, hey, you know what I mean? they don't get a preseason where they can lift and get stronger
That
and
makes sense.
get acclimated and work out and stuff. They're going straight from college to WNBA. So another thing with Caitlin, all these growing pains and stuff, it's on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
She's having to learn everything on the fly. Like you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just for her, I'm sure it's a lot of film. It's
And I'll say this too, a few things as we close up this chapter. I think she might be the first women's basketball player who's like, I'm not gonna lie, I would like to have her jersey.
You would?
Yeah.
But a lot of people feel like
And I don't say this to put anybody else down. Mm-hmm. It was like, bro, she's crazy.
But a lot of people feel like that. That's why her jersey sold out the night she got drafted.
Exactly. What I'm saying though is, why can that not be okay instead of like, bro, we here too.
That is okay, but you gotta put yourself in the mind of a competitor, bro.
Oh, for sure. And my way to combat that is I'm gonna beat you on the court.
So why do you think everybody going there? That's to my point, or to the point of what we've been saying. That's why everybody goes at a hard.
So what's the line between hard and like you? We've already addressed that. I do feel like what Kennedy Carter did was too much.
It was too much?
Yeah. You feel like it's going to be more that this season?
I hope not. But I mean, because I thought that was excessive. But I mean, yeah, it's a line between playing hard and competitive and being dirty. That was just dirty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And then to her defense, she said, y'all need to go back and watch the stuff that happened prior to that before y'all judge me on that. And there's a famous clip of Vince Carter. You know what clip I'm talking about?
Of Vince Carter?
Yeah. When he smacked dude in the face.
I don't think I've seen that.
And then the guy turned around and like pushed him or something and eject the dude. And the dude was like, bro, he just smacked me in my face. He just smacked me in my face. So I had to go back and check on what Kennedy said. But that clip to me has always been hilarious that he kind of got away with that situation. But I don't know if she did anything that egregious or not. We'll go back and see. But Caitlin, man, wishing her the best. We have not talked about Angel Reese a lot on this one. This is centric on Caitlin. It does seem like the narrative that is being pushed is Caitlin is the good guy, Angel is the bad guy. And it's like a movie that we're watching unfold.
But it's been that way. If we can go back to the episode of the pod I did, I spoke about that.
Yeah.
The national championship. I did a whole episode on that. It's always been that. I mean, and there's racial undertones with that.
Oh, you think so?
I know so. Everybody knows so.
Angel actually came out in one of her recent interviews and said, if I have to be the bad guy, I'm fine with playing that role.
Yeah, she's always said that. I mean, it's, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not saying like, people have to pick a side. I like both of them.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Angel's cold.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, she's outspoken. That makes people uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, and Angel's got a large following too. I mean, and I saw an interview they had with her. She said the attention we're getting in the WNBA is not because of one player. Like basically, so I've got a following. I have we've sold out games. People come to the games for me, which is true. Caitlin is I started this thing off. Caitlin is at the forefront of all of this. All of the attention they're getting, Caitlin is at the forefront.
I'm calling cap, bro.
But there's other ladies that are in the league that people are coming to see.
I'm calling cap.
On what?
On the blanket just a blanket statement. The attention that we're getting is not because of one player. I'm calling cap. Now, I know Angel has a huge following, and I do think her and Caitlin have been a crazy marketing and just a crazy force to bring to women's basketball. But I'm calling cap on the statement. All of the attention we're getting is not because of one player.
So if the Aces and the Sky play a game, which the Aces is Asia Wilson and them, the Chicago Sky is Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso and them. If that game sells out, that's because of Caitlin. Caitlin's not playing.
I think there are metrics that are hard to assess that Caitlin is bringing to the WNBA. Just in general, just the fact that some of the teams that you just mentioned, some people may not even know who those teams are until this year because they decided to see Caitlin Clark and they'll see Caitlin playing against one of those teams. So if those teams ever end up going head to head, they end up watching it because of that. I do think it is kind of crazy to say that Caitlin has not brought a astronomical audience to the WNBA.
No one's questioning that.
I think they are. I think they're trying to minimize it. Somebody saying everybody's not here for one reason. It's like we go to we had this conversation. Matter of fact, I'm cool. We can talk about it here. When we had the Nashville Pro-Am, certain players came on championship night and everybody was there. And so if somebody say, oh yeah, it wasn't turned before they got here, cap. You know what I'm saying? If I'm just being honest, cap.
I feel what you're saying. You're saying indirectly, Caitlin, even if Caitlin's not playing, indirectly she's brought people to the game.
And even going back to this point, if people thought that person would, people may come to the game just. I had people come up to me, did you gonna be here today? That's why they were there. And that's why I say it's certain things you cannot assess because you don't know it. They pulled up just because they thought, they heard he was here last week and he might be here this week.
But that's different in the WNBA. Everybody plays for the same team. That's not the same as a pro-am.
Exactly, but they pulled up to games that they didn't know if anybody was going to be there at just because they would assume or had the hope that something else was going to happen.
For when?
They didn't know. It was no timetable.
You talking about a pro-am?
Yeah.
That's different, Addy.
Okay.
Rosters are established in the league. You know what I mean? You know who's coming to play every night. Pro-am is, who's going to show up? I heard so-and-so.
Yeah.
So-and-so came last week. That's different than you got a set roster of players. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know who you're coming to pay to see every night. That's different.
True, but here's a different one. Here's one on the same thing. Somebody may come to see that and then fall in love with the league after. That's closer to what I'm bringing up. They may have come to a game. Prime example, you may have go to a WNBA game to see Caitlin Clark and be like, it's cool over here. I like the game, I like the vibe, I like the halftime entertainment. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to more games. But I do think okay. Do you feel like Angel has brought more people to the WNBA than Caitlin? As far as fans?
No. But
do you think it's close?
I don't know the numbers, but Angel has brought
just assumption. Yeah, I'm not finna hold you down to like you said it was X amount of people.
No. I mean, I wouldn't know. You know what I mean? But Angel has brought people, but no, it's not as many as Caitlin. No. Angel has a following though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I don't know how many followers she have on Instagram. Like 3 million, 3 million. I mean,
it gotta have some M's on it.
But you know what I mean? Like she's a figure. She's a character. And she's a brand. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what she was saying. Like, and that's she's brought celebrities. You know what I mean? She's brought celebrities to the game too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what she was saying from her perspective. Now, is it on Caitlin's level? No.
I'm not saying it's not. I just know that sometimes this actually even goes into politics. When people don't like the opposite side so much, they'll just hop on the opposing side. Not so much because they actually like that person, but they feel like I'm a rock with whoever I feel like can take that person down. On either side, I feel like both of these women have fans because of that logic.
Yeah.
And there are people who genuinely like them because of, they love their game and things of that nature. But I think sometimes people get pit against each other who they were just trying to hoop.
Yeah. Somebody says sounds like you have a major bias. I don't have a bias on either side. I don't know if that was directed at me or Eddie. I don't have a bias on either side. And then they said Angel has more Instagram followers than Caitlin. So that's my point.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't surprise me.
It's two different brands. Now, basketball, Caitlin's is more. Now, they're both great players.
Shout out to that follow.
They're both great players. Caitlin is more just strictly basketball. Angel is a figure. She's a brand off the court as well. You know what I mean? So that attracts more, young girls, ladies. You know what I mean?
And
guys that may like her.
That's a great point.
You know what I mean?
That's
so it's just that plays into it. So it's not. You know what I mean?
That's a great. That
somebody
actually
said Angel bad. Of course, she got more. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? So,
That actually, what you just said is a great point, and I think if you translate that to the NBA, that's why there's certain guys in the NBA who are the truth, but it's easier to market somebody who's Quallen is a great example.
That's what I was gonna say. Marketing, like you could be a great player, but can we market you? Can we market your personality? Can we? You know what I mean? Angel is a personality, like,
and finding a full package sometimes is hard. That's why certain artists are who they are, and that's why there's sometimes a dime a dozen.
That's another reason why, and this is why I'm saying, it sounds like this is a question a little. I think he's talking about you having a bias, but this is another thing too with the WNBA. A lot of the attention is on it, and this just isn't for Caitlin. There are a lot of attractive rookies in the WNBA this year. That's drawing more eyes. You know what I mean?
And that's unfair too. I feel like a lot of times
it's unfair.
My fault. I feel like that part is unfair more than the talent part. What I mean by that is a lot of times, like whether it be IG or certain things, a lot of people will know certain girl hoopers because of how they look, not because of how they play.
You said you think that's unfair though?
Unfair from the stance of if that's how you judge it. But I mean, like I said, business is business. People are gonna market what they market. Now, I'm not saying, and with that being said, I'm not saying anybody should market anything based off of sex appeal or things of that nature. But you know, they're gonna do that anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it. You know what I mean? And Caitlin's not we're not gonna get into who looks the best and stuff like that. But it's like
not doing that.
I'm saying the main girls that they talk about being the attractive ladies and being the watch, it isn't Caitlin, which, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like the when I get online, when I get on Twitter, and I see people talking about the attractive ladies in the WNBA and why they were watching, it's not Caitlin, which is fine. They're basketball players. They don't, you know what I mean? I'm not here to talk about who's looks better, but I'm saying, like, as far as that, bringing eyes.
Yeah.
That's people other than Caitlin. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that plays into, now people are coming to see Caitlin because she's excited. Okay. But people also watching games, buying tickets to see these other ladies. You know what I mean? Whether that's because they have a following because of their brand, like Angel Reese, or whether they're attractive or not. You know what I mean? It's just different factors into it. That's why I said from the beginning.
Somebody brings up a great point too, though.
That's why I said from the beginning, like, this season is going to be probably the highest revenue they've ever got, highest view. You know what I mean? Because of all this. It's a lot of different ladies. Somebody
brought up a good point in the chat. It's actually because of Caitlin that I got privy to Juju Watkins. And because I started looking more, I know this is going to sound, because I started looking at more women's basketball highlights because of Caitlin, her highlights started coming up on my feed. That's why I say there's certain metrics you don't know how to assess them because of things of that nature. I would have never saw, now I'm not the Lord, I do not think that would have came to my forefront as much had I not been watching Caitlin just had 40 something. Let me check out these highlights. And then the next video that kind of gets promoted by that is either another Caitlin video or Juju dropped like 50 something or 40 something. Like, oh snap, who is this? You know what I'm saying? So that's why, and Juju can ball too, man. For sure.
I feel what you're saying. I mean, you saying Caitlin indirectly is drawing people to everybody else. You come for Caitlin and then you end up finding about everybody else, is what you're saying.
Yes, I don't want to minimize that part of it. Now, it would be different if she was coming out there saying, "Yeah, I'm in the W, ain't nobody here." If it wasn't for me, all right, you tripping. But if she's not saying that, it kind of sounds like, oh, you feeling some type of way. Now, whether you're obliged to feel some type of way or not, I mean, that's on you. But to everybody else, it feels like, you're a little salty about that, huh?
I mean, I don't know. I get it because, like I said, Caitlin is at the forefront.
Yeah.
She's the main, she is the show. She is, it's been anticipated. Everybody wants to see her. But there are other ladies that people want to see. And even the players that have been in the league for years, they're like, we're here too. You know what I mean? And I agree. WNBA hasn't always been highly viewed. You know what I mean? People have had bad things to say about the WNBA, and now it's on the up and up because Caitlin is at. You know what I mean? So I get it. I get it. I get both sides.
2 final questions to end out this section. Do you feel like, regardless of what a team's needs are, that Caitlin was such a good player that you draft her first anyway?
I think some players are special enough to where you have to take them number one, or with your pick, you have to.
So if you're a GM or whatever, are you taking Caitlin? Regardless of if you already got great shooting guards, point guards on the team, are you taking her?
For multiple reasons.
So you would take her instead of Angel?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was
because at some drafts, like, I'll give an example for the NBA this year, right? This isn't a strong upcoming NBA draft, right? There isn't like, I'm not saying there isn't good players, because there's always good players. What I'm saying isn't like it's like a, you know what I mean? Like, people aren't familiar with this isn't like, as far as across the board, the best talent-wise draft. It's always going to be talent, but I'm saying as far as like names, stars, you know what I mean? So like, this is a draft where it's like, you got to draft by team need. Sometimes it's by team need, and then sometimes it's like, we got a generational or a special type player we have to take. I think that's the difference. You know what I mean? When it's like a generational talent that you can't miss out on, that's when you draft, you take them whatever. Yeah. Regardless. Like, whether we have this need filled at their position or not.
So essentially you're saying you would be stupid not to take Caitlin Clark.
I mean, you have to for multiple reasons. For one, she's going to put butts in seats. Yeah. And then she's a special type player. You know what I mean? So
that actually segues perfectly into our next talking point, our next discussion. Bronny James. Bronny James, bro. I'm going to just say that and talk to me, my brother.
He need to go back to school. Now, it's too late now, but he needs to go back to school. And I hate that I don't hate that he tested the waters and entered the draft and got started going with the draft process and things like that. But I hate that he's staying in the draft. I hate it. I hate it for him.
You say need to. I need you to identify your stance. Are you speaking as a hooper, a businessman, a GM, or somebody who is trying to get LeBron? What stance are you speaking from right now?
I'm speaking on the stance of what's best for Bronny, because I think that's what matters. He should go back to school. And if I'm LeBron, I'm not letting my son go to the league.
That doesn't seem like what LeBron's agenda is, though.
I'm telling you, if I was LeBron.
Okay. You're just saying if you were in his position.
Because my thing is, now, for one, I think it's unfair for one, because I think, LeBron wants to play whether with or against his son in the league, right? He's not, his stock to be, whether somebody forces it and picks him or not, his stock isn't high to be drafted. He doesn't need to go to the NBA, right? If he's on anybody's draft board right now, it's forced. Not saying he's not a good player, but his timing is everything. He didn't play to start this season out because he had health issues. Then he wasn't playing well. Yeah. Maybe caught a little rhythm towards the end of the season. Just go back.
Do you feel like this year's draft is good?
No.
Okay. Listen to me.
I could see that too.
If you feel like this year's draft is not good, then why would you wait till a couple of the years when the draft could be crazy? So just think about that. If you feel like, because there have been multiple players who have and have not decided to go into a draft based upon how their stock would be in that draft.
Yeah, I could see that too. And I think that has a lot to do with why he stayed in the draft. But because next year's draft is going to be stronger. But I just don't think he's ready for the league, bro. And I just, he's a good player. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he can't go to the league at some point, but it's just like, I don't know. Maybe he's staying in because, like you said, it's not a super strong draft.
Because Cooper Flagg and them coming.
Yeah,
bro. They had this other 12-year-old kid, bro. Looked like he was better than Victor Wembanyama that I saw. I don't know. Listen, at this point, bro, with some of the kids that I'm seeing come out, bro, some of these kids test tube babies.
Somebody said Nepo baby. Yeah. I mean,
Some of these kids test tube babies. Come on, bro. This man was 12 and looked like he was better than Victor.
hey, just imagine what it'd be like when he's 18.
But back to the Bronny situation. Do you think he'll be in the league this upcoming season?
Man, I think the talk. I mean, we're hearing more and more about Bronny. I mean, they're doing segments on SportsCenter about Bronny and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is his numbers weren't great. He wasn't able to play. You know what I mean? And under the circumstances that he had, I mean, I'm not saying he should have had a great year, but I think that's all the reason for him why he should go back. But he's not. But I don't know, bro. I mean, I think somebody, the way they keep pushing him, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody takes him. Somebody drafts him. But they'll be drafting him, I won't say because it's, I think him being LeBron son has a lot to do with it. But he's a good player. I mean, you know, I don't want to take anything away from him, but it's like, if it was anybody else with those numbers, I don't know what he averaged 4 points, you know, whatever.
But he did have, and to be fair, he did have a very serious medical condition prior to that, and so like it. I mean, you know, thank God he was able even to come back and play.
Oh, for sure. Which is why I'm not downplaying anything. I think for that reason, it's all the more reason to go back to school, develop, get better numbers, maybe win some more. You know what I mean? Instead of let me just go. Everybody can be one and done. It's okay not to be one and done.
Yeah.
And I just don't think. Now somebody might take him. I'm saying all this, and then somebody might take him. But if it was,
I don't know why somebody wouldn't take him.
Why?
No, that's I said. I don't know why somebody wouldn't.
If this is anybody else that isn't LeBron's son with these numbers and had that type of freshman year, are you taking them?
Come on, bro. We know the answer to that. We know the answer to that.
So that's my point.
But this is not the same situation. You got to think, as a team, there are a lot of different people who have different things that are going to keep them employed, correct? Players, their statistics, how they mesh with the team, their performance. Coach, wins, championship. How you can lead the team. GMs, constructing a cohesive team, and let's say maybe helping with, you know, morale, marketing, blah, 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 blah. Owners, I'm pretty sure they want that chicken, bro. Now, a championship could help them get more. And you know, when you make that level of money, you know, you got bragging rights. You know, I feel like with Bronny's situation, there are more variables at play. And I know NBA players talk about, you know, because of the competitive nature, man, you know, I'm playing for a championship. Kelchi, appreciate you, first of all, for that super chat. And they have notified us that Bronny has until June 16th to withdraw from the draft. Appreciate you a lot for that super chat.
He needs to withdraw.
But hear me out, though. Back to my point. When you have different people that are important within an organization that have various goals, his decision about whether or not he's beneficial for a team is not cut and dry. Because coach could be like, y'all gonna fire me if I lose. But y'all are also gonna fire me if I don't play him, because he's gonna bring 20,000 more fans to the game.
You think?
And then y'all also gonna fire me because if LeBron's mad at me that I don't play him.
But I think a lot of this too is LeBron is somebody said who's Bronny? LeBron James' son. I think a lot of this, I don't know, I've been out of the loop the last few years, but doesn't LeBron want to play with Bronny? That's exactly what I was getting to. Dylan. That's exactly what I was stopped and read to say. I think a lot of this has to do with LeBron has said, he's on the record saying he wants to play with his son.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are thinking like, man, if we draft Bronny, we might get LeBron.
Why wouldn't you think that?
So I think that's the push right now. And I don't know who would take him or things like that, but it's a rare opportunity to play with your son. I don't, you know what I mean? We've has it ever happened? I don't think it's ever happened. We've had, of course, plenty of guys that are in the NBA that had dads that play in the NBA. Who's actually played on the team with their son? I don't think it's ever happened. I could be wrong.
Didn't it happen one time?
I could be wrong.
I could be wrong, but somebody let us know. Didn't it happen one time? I could be wrong, or maybe that was. Maybe was it? Maybe it's baseball.
Yeah, I don't know if it
Maybe it's
happened.
baseball.
It doesn't because it. I'm gonna tell you why it didn't happen in the NBA because it doesn't line up as far as the ages. Like LeBron is a robot.
Yeah.
LeBron is a unicorn as far as how old he is and how great he's been for this long. So it just doesn't line. That's not normal. So it doesn't line up for people to have a son and then the son gets to the league and you still playing. It doesn't line up. You know what I mean? LeBron's a unicorn. So I said Google says never. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't have to look because it's like it doesn't line up.
Yeah.
Steph been playing. It's not Dale Curry is not gonna play long enough for Steph to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just doesn't. This LeBron's a freak, so it's just this is rare. You know what I mean? And
So when assessing it from that level, then a lot of times players are able to get to the league and completely change their family's well-being for generations. That has already been done to the highest extent with LeBron. So what's more important? Another person being in the league or legacy, history, and because let's be honest. Bronny going to the league would be great, but his family is straight.
yeah,
And I know this ain't no pocket watching stuff. I mean, you're straight, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are gonna be good. Everything else is going to be like personal goals and aspirations, which everybody has. And I'm never saying anybody should settle on something if you know there's things that you could do. But whether or not he makes it to the league is not going to be detrimental to his family, not going to put food on the table, none of that type of stuff. So going into the fact that you just said never been done.
it's a good storyline. It's good for their family.
That's a movie, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's great movie, great storyline for their family, right? I'm thinking outside of that, right? Their family, cool moment, great. You take pictures and I'll have that forever. It's a moment, great. Other than that, once LeBron retires, I mean he's on his last years. Once LeBron retires, even with LeBron being in the league, Bronny, once you're in the league, now you have to sustain a career. Now
he doesn't though. That's what I'm getting at. He does not.
Listen. He does. In the sense of their family, he doesn't. He doesn't have to work a day in his life. He doesn't have to. But in the sense of this is what your career is now, you have to sustain a career. So whereas people might draft him because of who he is and the storyline, if that's the reason why you're drafting him, cool. Once that's over with, then you have a career. Then you have to develop. Then you have to be on somebody's roster. Then you have to be good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once the storyline is out the way, once LeBron and Bronny make history and they're on the court together, whether teammates or opponents, and they take pictures and it's a moment and it's oh my God. After that's over with, and Bronny's in the league, then what?
You enjoy life.
But as far as a player, like what then, you know what I mean? I'm thinking outside of the moment, right? Everybody's like, yeah, Bronny, get to the league. It's cool. All right, it's gonna be great. It's gonna look great it's gonna look great on Instagram. It's gonna look great on Instagram when LeBron and Bronny are on the court together. It's gonna look great. After that, then what?
Movies, endorsements.
I'm talking about basketball.
It sounds like what you're talking about is not just basketball. You're talking about Bronny.
Yes, because that's what it's about.
I guess he would be the only person to answer that.
I mean, it got to play out how it's going to play out. But I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking after that, you get drafted to the NBA. You're everybody else that gets drafted to the NBA, they have plans to sustain a career for years to come. to be an important part of whatever team they're on and sustain a career. Right? People are pushing Bronny to get to the league so we can see this movie.
So, all right.
You get what I'm saying?
Great point. Great point. Do you not want to see it?
Hold on. And I'm not saying Bronny doesn't want to sustain a career and be the best player he can be and have a long NBA career. I'm not saying he doesn't want to do that because I know he does. But the push right now is just for that, to see LeBron and his son. That's what people want to see.
So you don't want to see it, bro?
I'm not saying I don't. I mean, it'd be cool. I would rather.
It would be cool, but it would be great, bro. Let's stop playing. It would be great.
All right. I already said I think Bronny needs to go back to school. I already said that.
No, not that. Not that. I'm talking about it would be great seeing him and his dad play together.
Cool. Cute. Then what?
Bro, it's just
That's
like
what I just said.
What you mean? It's like 4th of July. Fireworks go up. Everybody gonna be crazy. They gonna want to see it. But
I don't
it's like
watch
then what?
fireworks.
It's over.
I don't watch fireworks.
But you've experienced it the one time to know that it was great.
Fireworks are nice.
Exactly. It's gonna be the same
You've
thing.
seen it once. You've seen it all. I'm not saying I don't like fireworks, but it's just like, you know what I mean?
I got you. I do think it.
Do it for the gram. Once the Instagram post of LeBron and Bronny on the court together hugging with NBA uniforms on, once that gets 1 million likes, then what?
You can say we the first to do it.
Then what?
That's everything.
It's great for that
That's
family.
everything. That's
It's
the
great.
NBA Finals. That's everything. That's getting drafted. That's everything. That's everything in life. It's always then what? That's life. That's why I feel like this is. Let's see what we got. Some chats coming in too, and we want to go to the chat for a few things that are going in. Somebody says, to your point, cute. Exactly.
Thank you. I said, are you saying if he actually wants to play? I've always wanted that. No, I know he actually wants to play. He wouldn't be doing all this draft prep, going through work. He had a pro day the other week. And I mean, he wants
shot
to be.
the ball on that one drill, though. What they say, he made like 12 threes in a row?
Listen.
That's shooting right there.
I'm going to be clear. Bronny is a good player, right? He's a good player. I'm not taking anything away from him as a player, but I'm saying timing is everything as far as getting to the league. And I'm saying right now, more people want to see the storyline of him being in the league with his dad than him actually being in the league. You get what I'm saying? More people are interested in Bronny getting to the league just so he can be in the league with LeBron and play with or against his dad than him actually sustaining a career as a pro.
Question you just asked me, I'm going to flip back on you. You asked me if LeBron was not his dad, would he get drafted? I'm asking you that question now. If LeBron was not his dad, realistically, where on the draft board do you think he would be?
Not on it. He's already really not on it.
You think he would not be on it at all?
No, he's not. He's really not on it at all now. Really, I think there are a couple teams that are like, oh, we might take him, but like he's not. He's still not. I've seen some pre-draft comments from some scouts, and they're like, yeah. Not that he's not a good player, but it's you know what I mean? It's fit. It's
So we talked about Caitlin Clark. I actually think this is funny. This parallels in another way too. We talked about Caitlin Clark, right? And her impact on the WNBA, and people like, hey, it's other people here too. Who else in the draft are you like, oh yeah, this person's nice, and I can't wait to see them get in the league?
In the NBA?
In the upcoming draft for the NBA.
The NBA?
Yeah.
I mean, Dalton Connect, Go Vols.
Yeah, he can hoop.
There's some overseas guys that are gonna be top picks. I think Rob Dillingham is up high on the draft board from Kentucky.
I have a question.
Reed Shepherd.
If Bronny was not in this draft, from a interest level, do you think this potentially could be one of the most drafts ever?
From an interest level?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there aren't any like.
So
People don't know who the number one pick is gonna be.
going to how we talked about Caitlin Clark, these are businesses. If the business knows this year is gonna be the only way to make up for that is to find another narrative or story to hit.
So you saying Bronny is the story?
Absolutely.
Somebody just said if Bronny goes to the league before he's ready, how long are people going to want to watch him mainly on the bench and shit? That's what I just said.
Realistically, I'm going to be honest. I got the number for you. Only as LeBron is starting on the team.
But that's what I said.
That is it. Not even playing on the team.
You're not listening
Only as long as he's starting on the team.
You're not listening to me.
Talk to me.
Because I said that. Said LeBron is on his last years. He's going to be 40 years old in December. Mm-hmm. He's on his last years. He just finished his 21st season in the NBA.
How many more years he got to start?
He's on his last years. I don't know how his body's feeling. I know it's tired. Mm-hmm. It's old. He doesn't have many years left. He's on his last years. 2 or 3 at the most, I think. That's playing at the level he plays at. Because I think if he wanted to old-head it out, and just spot up in the corner, he could play for 10 more years.
Your boy Udonis Haslem, man, he's old man in it.
But the way LeBron is, he's sustained a level of greatness consistently over a 21-year career. Mm-hmm. So I think whenever he can't be what he's been for the last 21 years, he's gonna stop. Which would make sense.
Okay.
So with LeBron being on his last years, once the storyline is out of the way, it's cute. Bronny's here. Oh my God, Dad. And they get a picture of Instagram and stuff. Cool. After that, how long are people gonna want to watch Bronny? Is Bronny gonna develop into a good enough pro to where?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's still on the team.
Final question.
Is he gonna go to the G League? Is he gonna end up overseas? We don't know. But right now, everybody just wants to see the movie. Everybody wants to see LeBron and his son. That's it.
Yeah. Final question, bro.
I'm thinking how to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know
where your mind is.
You know what I mean? And Bronny's, and that's not to say Bronny, like, come on now. Bronny's been LeBron James' son his whole life. So he wants to get it on his own. He you know what I mean? He's already, you know what I mean? He's a competitor. He's like, man, I can do this for a team or this for a team. He's going to do everything he can to be a pro for years to come. I know it. But I'm saying as far as what everybody wants to see, it's just to see LeBron and his son.
True. Final question on this subject. And people have already asked this in the most obvious way, so I'm going to just ask it in probably the corniest way ever. If LeBron James is a chocolate factory, is Bronny the golden ticket?
No.
So that's not going to get you inside the chocolate factory. And let's go ahead and dissect this. If you're a team and you want LeBron or want his presence, market, whatever case may be, do you feel like getting Bronny will definitely get you LeBron?
I don't think it's a definite.
Okay.
I mean, LeBron is on record saying he wants to play with his son, but it's just too many. Yeah, it's too many. Somebody said LeBron the golden ticket. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not.
Are we flipping it?
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's made stuff happen for years, bro.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. And what team? What? It's just a lot that goes into it. Bro. I know that's LeBron. He's one of the greatest ever. But like, what?
Yeah.
What team is moving mountains to get a 40-year-old LeBron right now? Even with him being, if we just trying to sell tickets and things like that.
Oh, you just said it.
If
you said it.
If who was bad?
Was it Detroit? Was it Detroit?
If the Pistons pick up Bronny, is LeBron just gonna find a way to get to the Pistons?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, it's certain players I feel like you can, like, yeah, they want to go to a team that's winning a championship. When you have all of the accolades that he has, I don't know, bro. You've done it all. This is something that has not ever been done. So when you ask me that question, would he go to Detroit? If it means you can do another thing that hasn't been done, because you've done everything else. I don't know. I would not be surprised. If I woke up one day and there's like the Pistons have acquired Bronny James, and then the next day I saw LeBron James is asked for a trade or is headed to Detroit, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised. I don't care if they have an 0-82 record for the season. I'm not going to be surprised. And you ask me who would want that? A team that knows they're not going to win a championship and they still got bills and they still got people to pay and they still trying to get that money. That is a team who would do it.
What's LeBron playing for right now at this point in his career?
I feel like he's actually answered this question before. You know how NBA players always get, well, LeBron, you know, LeBron always has his philosophical answers for it.
LeBron be lying too. It's the funniest thing in the world. It's hilarious. LeBron is a character, bro.
LeBron,
he lies. It's funny though. It's not like bad lies. It's not like a, but he's a liar. It's like he's like a funny liar. Like he doesn't lie about anything serious.
Yeah.
But it's like little stuff. Like he lies his butt off. It's hilarious.
The biggest one that I just don't believe at all ever is when he's like, "Yeah, I'm not the coach. I'm a player. That's their decision." I just be looking at him. It's like,
you can look up a whole compilation of him lying.
I don't believe
the
that.
The funniest ones is when he had the book.
Yeah.
He was reading the book. Mm-hmm. He acted like he was reading a book, I should say. And they were like, tell us about the book. He's, it's a good book. You know what I'm saying? He can't.
I ain't seen that one. I'm going to check it out, though. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check it out.
He just be, I'm not going to get into it. You just have to watch for yourself. You know what I mean? He's just a character, bro.
And here we go, man. To end things out, I know you had some things you wanted to discuss about the finals. Talk to me, man. Everything that you have in your mind. Everything about the finals. Mavericks, Celtics, 2024 NBA championship. Let's talk.
I think it's going to be a long series. Of course, game one, Boston was dominant. Porzingis came back. His first game played in 38 days. He played like he missed no time. I think it's going to be interesting, man. You know, basketball is a game of runs and adjustments. You know what I mean? So, and I was telling my dad this. Right, my dad was texting me while game one was going on. He was like, "Oh, it's over, man. I thought Kyrie and Luka were going to be special this series. Boston is going to be too much." I'm like, he's texting me, "This is not the first half wasn't even over." I'm like, we're not even a half in the game one, but then Dallas ended up cutting the game to 8.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's just a game of runs, adjustments. You know what I mean? Dallas put themselves in the hole early, had the opportunity to make a run, cut it down, but Boston just they jumped out enough early to where that game was it was just the lead was too much for Boston to come back from. But game two, Dallas will make adjustments. They don't want to go down 0-2.
Yeah.
Then after game two, they got to go back to Dallas. So I think it'll be a long series, bro. I think Boston will win the series in 7.
You sound like a great NBA analyst right now. Talk to me, bro.
I think Boston will win the series. I do think they have a better team.
Win it, or is it going 4-0? Are we sweeping?
No. It's not going 4-0. I started this off. I said I think it's going to be a long series.
A long one?
Yeah.
Bro, when Porzingis came back, bro, I was like, bro.
That's fine. He's not going to do that every night. That's what I'm saying. If it wasn't
if he
for
even
him
does half of that.
18 points in the first half.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do that, the game is a lot closer. And I told Tripp that me, Tripp, and some more people watched the game last night. If Porzingis don't do that, that game is a lot closer.
Okay.
Because they cut the lead to 8. They just weren't able to, and they had opportunities to cut more into the lead, but that they went up by what, 30?
It was some crazy, yeah. Because I remember
Close
Tatum
to
hit a
30?
3 at one point. It was like, oh man, this is over. But then when they came back to 8, I was like, wow,
That's hard to come back from, bro. Even if you outplay a team for the rest of the game, that's a big hole.
Yeah.
Now, if you go down 20 in the league, I mean, the way that the NBA is played now, bro, it's like 20-point lead ain't nothing.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Was it the Minnesota Timberwolves who had the biggest comeback in playoffs this year?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. You know what I mean? But it's just, 20-point lead ain't nothing. But they went up by 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Porzingis don't play out of his mind in the first half, that game is a lot closer, bro. That's not going to happen every night. Now, I'm not saying Boston won't win this next game. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is game one isn't an indication for how the whole series is going to be.
I agree with you.
Somebody has to win. And basketball is a game of runs, adjustments. It's chess, bro. Dallas is going to go look at the film, or they already know. They're going to see what they need to do better.
Kyrie
Didn't play well.
That's one of the reasons why I agree with you, because of Kyrie.
I mean,
I don't think he's gonna play like that every game.
no, he's not. Just like, bro, basketball is a game of runs and adjustments. You have a bad game, you go watch the film, you go look, you adjust. Okay, this is where I messed up. All right, I'm gonna fix that for next game. Just because you score 40 the first game, you could have 12 the next game. You know what I mean? It's just games got to be played, bro. So that's why I say like one game is an indication of how the whole series is gonna go. Dallas could come up and win by 30.
Could you see that happen?
I can't. I don't know. It's possible, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can't.
Hasn't
that's
Kyrie lost all of his matchups with the Celtics though? Since being with Dallas?
This is his first year with Dallas.
No, that's what I'm saying. The matchups that they've had
Oh, you talking about like
throughout the season? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the record is.
Have they got them a few times? Somebody let us know.
I mean, Boston didn't lose much this year, so I wouldn't.
Boston's looking good, man. And Jaylen Brown, doggone, looking like. I know they talk about Jason Tatum a lot. Jaylen Brown, my goodness.
Oh yeah,
That boy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tatum is more naturally like gifted than Jaylen Brown, but as far as how good of a player both of them, I mean, I don't think they're far off from each other. Both stars, both all stars. You know, Tatum has just got more natural smoothness
and the thing,
natural to his game.
They were talking about breaking them up at one point.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's like a media thing. Media start pushing some stuff, and it's like, hold on. I don't think this actually makes any sense. It just sounds like a good talking point. It sounds like a good discussion, and it sounds like something other teams will want the narrative out about so they could get one of them. But this actually does not sound like a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the media influences a lot, bro, and they need stuff to talk about. So anytime, something happens there, is this so-and-so need to split up? Or, you know what I mean? I mean, Boston was the best team in the league this year by a wide margin in the East and just in the league, period. So, I mean, we'll see. That's why I think they'll win the series. But, Dallas is definitely going to come back fighting, bro. So, I mean,
Gotcha.
We'll see.
You spoke about Dallas coming back and fighting. Luka, that brother, man. Some would argue to say that he's actually this year's MVP. Some say SGA. And obviously, Jokic ended up winning it. Realistically, do you feel like Luka should have been MVP this year? You feel like it went to the right person? And then what do you expect from him throughout the rest of the series?
Well, I thought SGA should have been MVP. But, I mean, of course, all three of them had a strong case. If any of them would have got it, I understand. You know what I mean? I didn't think the Joker should have won MVP, but I understand why he did win it. They're all deserving. I just thought Shea should have got it. But what I expect from Luka, I mean, I expect Luka to be Luka. I mean, I don't. He had a career playoff low in assists. Game 1, he only had 1 assist. I'm not sure if that'll be an adjustment that they make. I mean, they didn't make as many shots as possible, but
people see that number though, and they sometimes associate that as if the person wasn't moving the ball. That goes two ways.
Yeah, I mean,
people have to hit the shots too.
That's what I'm saying.
People have to hit the shots.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, Luka's is best when he's gonna get 30 plus. He's gonna flirt with a triple double. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know, adjustments gotta be made. Yeah, I just expect Luka to be Luka. I mean, he controls games. He picks apart defenses. He's just whatever you throw at him, he's crafty. Yeah. I mean, I tell you all the time, basketball is simple, bro. And you gotta watch people like Luka. Like, he's not doing anything fast.
That man is just 100% skill.
Skill, bro. Angles and paces. The only
he gets through the little head. People go up and he goes up and under. It's like, man, that brother is skilled.
It's all between the ears, bro. It's all angles and paces. That's all it is. He's not doing anything fast. He's not dunking on anybody. It's all smarts. And
it's like every time you see him ISO somebody, he's going to make them look stupid.
He's just getting you off balance. He's just getting you off balance. Step back, getting space. That's all it is, bro. Yeah. It's a simple game. Same thing as a Joker. They're the same player. It's just Joker 7 foot.
I take same player, just different height. All right, I feel you. And then going into strategies for both teams, what do you feel like the Mavericks have to pinpoint on, whether it be offensively or defensively, to have the best shot at winning. And then on the flip side of that, with the Celtics and their approach to the Mavs.
As far as, defensively for Dallas, I think it's tough because Boston is so deep, and they've got multiple guys that can score.
Yeah.
But I think, Porzingis is definitely an X factor. It's tough, right? You got, let's look at this starting lineup: Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown.
They have a really good team. They got some guys on the team that can play defense, man.
Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Al Horford. Then off the bench, you got Porzingis now.
Shooter, the kid who dropped like
Sam
90 in a Drew League game or like a City League game.
Peyton Pritchard.
Yep.
Sam Hauser lights it up. You know what I mean? These are all guys.
Oh, your boy from up here who's in the pro runs up here in Nashville. He still plays on that team, doesn't he?
Who?
The tall guy played at Vanderbilt.
Luke Cornett.
Yep.
But I don't see him with somebody like that you gotta like. I'm talking about guys that can go score. I'm
talking about that Luke is long, man.
No, he's a good player.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like people that you gotta really like game plan for. Like, yeah, bro. I mean, I don't know. He's got minutes with Porzingis being honest though, but like with Porzingis being back, I don't know. He probably won't crack the rotation, especially in the finals. But it's tough, bro. I mean, Dallas is going to have to make shots and defend as best as possible. And then Boston, Boston is they've just got to defend Kyrie and Luka as best as they can. I mean, it's no guarding either one of them. But I mean, that's the head of the snake. You contain everything runs through them. So it's, what I mean?
Because they both to close out the game in Minnesota, they both had like 36 apiece.
Yeah, and Kyrie gets better as games go on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you just gotta stay locked in. I mean, they put Drew Holiday on Kyrie. I knew that.
I love how he approached this in comparison to Ant.
Who?
Drew. His media day thing about it.
Yeah.
I think they talked about Ant-Man. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be locking in on Kyrie. Whatever, how he approached it. Drew said, they was like, how do you think you can stop Kyrie? Just pray. Like, I love that. Right? It's kind of like you take that, like, because in your mind, I'm about to.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm in my mind. I know what I got planned for him.
Yeah.
But like, we're gonna keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it clear. Keep it humble.
I mean, and it was some seriousness to that because it's people like Kyrie. Really, all the elite guys in the NBA. It's no guarding them. You can make it as tough. Yeah. You can make it as tough on them as possible. But there's no stopping a Kyrie from scoring. There's no stopping a Luka from scoring. You're not gonna stop Kevin Durant from scoring.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. You just gotta make it as tough as possible.
Yeah.
And even then, they still gonna score. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think Taj talked about that one episode.
Yeah, bro. It's nothing. Guys are special, bro. They're just special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're gonna do their thing regardless. But you gotta make it as tough as possible, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, Luka and Kyrie are gonna score, but you gotta make it as tough as possible because those two are gonna get the most attempts and everything runs through them. But if I'm Boston, that's what I'm doing. Just trying to make it as tough as on them as possible. Just do what they do. Because I'm not gonna lie, Boston didn't play their best game. Tatum didn't play. Tatum didn't play great. He didn't need to.
But Jaylen Brown, that's why I like them a lot because right now it's like your focal point is on obviously Kyrie and Luka, and they got 3 guys over there, man. And I like the odds because, like you said, let me get this guy out. Tatum didn't have the best of game. Mm-hmm. They still had 2 other guys who performed really well. Mavs had 1 guy who did not perform as good as we know he can, and they lost. I don't expect all 3 of those guys to not play well.
When you say all
night.
3, who you
Celtics, Porzingis, Brown, Tatum.
Porzingis has been great all year, but like that's why having a great team is important.
Exactly.
Because you're not relying on 1 or 2 guys to go get 30 plus every night. It could be, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Tatum's the guy on the team, but they got other guys on the team that have been all-stars and average 20 and are important. Derek White, he don't get enough. He does everything. Like he does everything for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Drew Holiday. It's a lot.
Bro, I love Drew.
Does everything.
Speaking of which, that's another guy that Bronny kind of compared himself with as far as.
He's going to have to be that type of guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not to get back.
Drew ain't no joke, though. Drew can hoop.
Bro, Drew is one of the best in the world. He's on the USA team for a reason. I'm just saying, like, they've got multiple guys. You know what I mean?
Great story, too, man, about stuff outside of the court, you know.
Yeah.
Great story.
Sure. But that's why I think Boston's going to win the series. I don't. It's not going to be a short series to me. Now, we'll see. I mean, you know, Boston could come out and sweep. Okay. I don't know. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. Like I said, one game isn't an indication of how the whole series is going to go. It could be, but there's a lot more basketball to be played. Is all I'm saying. I'm
not telling you to tell folks what your parlays is and stuff like that. But you're a brother who likes to what I'm saying, have a little fun on the app, so we know where your money going, huh?
Look, I usually bet on stats, bro. I'm gonna be real because you can't call it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't put all my money on who I think is gonna win because you never know. You know what I mean? Especially these games. You know, I don't know. Somebody said, "Is it true that inside the NBA is in the?" I saw something about that. I think NBC is buying the rights. I saw something about games being on NBC, ESPN, Amazon Prime and stuff next year.
I know this is creeping
after next season. I think.
I think this is creeping into another topic, but if you want to talk about it, we can.
Yeah, I don't want to dive deep into that on this one. But okay. But we can. But yeah, but I saw something else that they're trying to work on something to keep inside the NBA. We'll see how it plays out. But that's part of the. I mean,
we'll definitely hit on this on another topic. But I definitely do think you should stop sometimes while you're hot, or before you get kicked out, or before it gets like embarrassing to be out.
What's embarrassing?
Like them up there, like 80 years old, still trying.
That's not embarrassing. You know, they just got an extension for like 10 years. People watch.
That's one aspect.
People watch. That's the best. That's the funniest show on TV. People watch. That's
one aspect.
That's part of the experience.
I think they're great. I love them.
Nobody thinks otherwise.
I don't think with the climate and how media is going, they're maximizing what they could do now. I think them doing that on YouTube, Instagram, other things like that, I think could be better. Because right now, their platform being on that station and that being on that station is more advantageous for TV. How many people do you know, if it's not for things like that, who are still just watching TV?
I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they won't be relevant. The things that they talk about won't be good. All of that stuff is still going to be that. I think it's time. And matter of fact, not to Gilbert Arenas, I love checking out some of his stuff. He kind of hinted on the same thing. Bro, like, he's like, that ship has sailed a while ago. Y'all need to start coming over to the YouTube side of things. This, whatever case.
People will watch.
We still going to watch.
But that would be for, I don't know, bro.
But there's a lot of contract things, stuff we don't know that go into that, and it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
For sure. But y'all, appreciate y'all so much for tuning in with us, man. Appreciate my dog, dude, man.
For sure. Thank you for having me. Late night stream, y'all.
Late night stream, man.
Appreciate y'all staying up with us, man. Listening. Let's have this discussion, man.
Got to put that PSA out there too. We're not giving y'all financial advice about who to bet on or choose for y'all's, NBA finals come up. People. I've been on Facebook last thing. Seeing some people post some shots of some parlays and stuff they've been hitting on. It's been a couple of good weeks for some brothers out there that I know have been posting a couple of screenshots, man. So if y'all see Jalen Duke walk back in the studio, 345 chains on, you know what I'm saying, jerseys on, gold rim glasses. He got the silver ones on, gold rim glasses. Then y'all know what happened. The finals has been good to him. Speaking of betting, we're gonna have to talk about your boy.
Oh.
Porter.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about it another day, man. Catch y'all on the next one.